Hi everybody, Verl Workman here, Big V, and today we're talking teams, and we're going to answer one of the most important questions that everybody has. That is simply this: what are the key metrics and what are the key things that I need to track as a team leader in order to be successful? You've heard me say many times that which gets measured gets done, and that we must inspect what we expect. Well, that's a good general statement, both of those are, but what do we really track? What are the things that we measure? In this video, I'm going to talk about the things that we really measure, what we look at, and how we make our decisions on what we're going to train to. I'm also going to give you and share with you how we ramp agents up in production and get them from where they are to an additional 2 transactions a month. So if you're looking to grow by 2 transactions a month, or you want your agents to grow by 2 transactions a month by inspecting what they expect, tracking the right things, and then going through the training we use to get them there, stay tuned because this video is going to have it all. Let's begin with what we measure. The first thing we have to do is we have to measure the things that give us the greatest return on time. With our daily success habits tracker, which I'll give everybody a copy of, we're going to measure how many hours a day you spend doing dollar productive activities. When we say get 61 points a day doing dollar productive activities, that means you only get points for an activity if it's defined as dollar producing. So when you're making prospecting calls, is that dollar producing? Yeah. When you're having conversations and you're setting appointment, is that dollar producing? Absolutely. When you go on listing appointments, is that dollar productive? Yep. How about working with a buyer? Yes, it is. We give you actually 10 points when you show 2 homes to 1 buyer. 0 points if you only show 1. The reason we weight points the way that we've weighted them on the Daily Success Habits Tracker is we create heavier point values to the activities that give us a higher return on time. Here's what we've learned. This is a simple example. When you go out and show a home, if you show 1 house to a client and they don't like it, you're done. You can't say which one do you like better. There's no alternative choice clause. You can't compare the 2 properties. So it's your job as a buyer's agent when a client says, I want to see a house over on Keswick, to say, that's an awesome property. I'm going to show you that one, but I'm going to do my best to find 1 additional property. Would it be okay if we looked at 2 homes? The client always says yes. And then you always show them 2 properties. Here is the one you really wanted to see. And then here's one that had most of the features and a couple features you didn't even ask for. And now based on what you've seen, what do you like about these 2 properties? Property A or property B? Which one would you like to make an offer on? If the answer is neither, it's okay. At least you're giving them choices. And as you give them choices and then you schedule the next activity, it then puts you right down and keeps them moving forward in the process. So you get points for showing 2 homes to a client, but 0 points for showing 1, because when you only show 1, it eliminates your ability to do an alternative choice close. We also track buyer appointments, listing appointments. We have tracked agreements getting signed. You see, when you get a buyer agreement signed, you're going to get paid. It's at least more likely you're going to get paid. When you get a listing agreement signed, well, you're going to list the property. So we give you points for getting those agreements signed. We also measure how many offers you're writing. If you're writing a lot of offers, but your offers aren't getting accepted, then we can train you to that gap. We track your open houses, your closings, your door knocks, one more thing, one more time, how many role plays you attend to practice your scripts and dialogues. All of the things that generate revenue are weighted and you get points for those things. We then take all of the points from all of our teams and they go into a master coaching platform called Workbench. And then as a company, we're able to evaluate and we can start seeing where the gaps are in all the people we coach. And then we can coach, train, and develop to the gaps. Can you imagine that we know for a fact it takes 230 to 260 points to have a closing, and that every time if you want to increase your closings, all you have to do is increase the points. And if you're not cheating on points and giving yourself points for things you aren't really doing, it becomes predictable. Greatness becomes predictable. You want to go from where you are to the next level? Start tracking the activities that will get you there, and then ask, are my activities consistent with my goals? If they aren't, adjust your activities. Then down the left-hand column, we keep track of what we actually spend our day doing in 30-minute increments. I think you're going to find you realize how little time we spend doing activities that generate real income. The next thing that we track is we track conversations. You see, in tracking conversations, we start to realize whether or not the words we're using are getting us appointments set. So if you're having conversations with potential buyers and sellers, but they're not setting an appointment with you, then we can focus on the value that you're offering to meet face to face. If you give them a compelling reason to meet with you, they're more likely to meet with you. If you don't give them a compelling reason, then you're just another salesperson with a pitch. It's time to be strategic in all of our communication. Think about what to say, how you're saying it, does it solve one of their problems if they meet with you? Or are you trying to get them meet with you for your benefit? See, I've learned that if I take myself out of the equation and I ask what they really need and I make sure that I'm able to provide that at a face-to-face meeting by simply giving them what they want, regardless of whether they're going to use me or not in the real estate transaction. You see, this concept of serve, regardless of opportunity, has changed everything in the way that we sell real estate. Instead of being salesy, we become servy. I just made that word up. What does it mean to be servy? It means that we're constantly thinking of how do I serve regardless of whether or not that client does business with me. It's game changing and it takes all the pressure off. You see, if you feel like you have to sell every day and every conversation is a sales conversation, because you don't like being sold to, it feels icky. And so you don't pick up the phone. People can't reject me if all I'm doing is calling to serve. There's no rejection in I've got something for your family I thought might be value. If they say no thanks, then I say, oh, I'm so sorry. You probably had me confused with someone who was trying to sell you something. I just wanted to give you something because you said that you were looking to sell a house in the next few months, and there's a few things that we found will help you do that. Use me, don't use me, it doesn't matter. I just want to make sure that you have access to the best content and data available. Share regardless of opportunity, and it makes making all of your calls so much easier. We've learned that the people that do their daily success habits generate more revenue. Here's the income year to date for the top 5 people in Workbench. This is year to date: 3.3 million, 50,000, 2.6 million, 2.6 million, 2.1 million, 1.7 million, 1.1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 1 million, 873, 999. There's 7-figure business after 7-figure business where we can see exactly how many points it took to generate that income. Greatness, my friends, is predictable if you track and measure the right things. Once you're tracking and measure the right things, it then gives you the ability to then implement the things that make a difference as a team leader. Here's a few of those things right now. Education and training. Make sure that you're training and educating to where the gaps are. And that's what Daily Success Habits gives us. It gives us the clear picture of where the gaps are in our business. The second thing is develop a strong culture of serve regardless of opportunity. Not serve first and then get the opportunity. Serve regardless of opportunity. Take the pressure off. I don't care if you call 100 people today and don't sell anything. If you give something away to 50 of them, I'm going to call that a win, because I know that when you serve regardless of opportunity, your inbox will become filled with opportunities. It's a universal principle that I believe in, and I've proven over and over and over. It just flat works. Let's serve. Stop selling, start serving. The next is effective marketing strategies. Provide unbelievable customer service. Can I encourage all of you as leaders, when you're tracking the right things, to make sure you're tracking how much time you spend focusing on listing business. You've heard me say before, and I'll say it again, that you must list to last. Listings create opportunities for the entire team. If you're not measuring how many listing appointments you need to get a listing and how many dials it takes to get an appointment, and you're not tracking those things, then you don't have a listing-focused business. Listing is predictable. We can list 50 houses a year, or 60 houses a year, or 160 houses a year. It just becomes what your focus is on. The difference between someone who lists 200 houses a year and someone who sells 20 houses a year very rarely has to do with the quality of the individual, but always has to do with the activities they focus on. We must focus and measure the right things in our business if we want it to grow and we want to have a successful, productive team. Use your daily success habits tracker. Use the technology, the apps that come with it, to make it all streamlined and simple to go into one places. And then I want you to set goals beyond your ability to achieve them. If you're always achieving your goals, you aren't setting them high enough. I always want you to fall short of your goals. Some people think that's demotivating. I don't. If I'm always hitting my goals, I'm a sandbagger. If you always hit your goals, you're not trying that hard. I want you to stretch beyond what you believe is possible, and then when you fall short, it's a home run. Og Mandino says, I'd rather shoot for the moon and hit an eagle than shoot for an eagle and hit a rock. I want you to shoot for the moon and hit an eagle. What's the eagle in your business? What's the goal or the thing you really want to accomplish? And how do we get beyond what you believe is possible today? We have a program called RAMP. It's a 10-week program called Rising Agent Mastery. And it's designed to help you get from where you are, all of your agents from where they are, to an additional 2 transactions a month. I would like to give you a free copy of RAMP if you'll use it. I only want you to download it if you're going to use it. So go right below. Will you use it? Go in the chat box and type in, yeah, I'll use it. Come on, Big V, give me the link. I'll put it to work. I'll watch it every day. I'm going to ramp my business and I'm going to grow by 2 deals a month. What would that do in your life if you made an extra 24 sales in the next 12 months? Would that change your income? Would it change your lifestyle? Would it make a difference in the people that you serve? If so, download RAMP. Here it is right now. There's your link. Go through and watch it, and let's get engaged. It's time to ramp your business, learn how to track the right things, and let's be on our way to the most productive, successful real estate team you can create.